Lamar Jackson makes something out of absolutely nothing. And if he can remain healthy, and Rex Ryan said, I've seen him, saw him in high school, saw him in college, see him in the NFL. He's a stockier guy than RG3 was. I said, I agree with that. He said his entire career, people have been telling him you can't take big hits. I said, I agree with that. He said, so in turn, he's learned how to not take big hits. And usually whenever people say it, it's like, well, that's not possible. I got a chance to watch T.Y. Hilton become a master at this because T.Y. was undersized as a wide receiver. He had this incredible ability to get a lot of yards, and then as soon as he knew something was coming, get down. And at the beginning, everybody was like, oh, this guy's soft. Run a guy over, get that extra yard. It's like, yo, he's 165 pounds. How about we take care of him or applaud him for taking care of himself so he can last for the long haul? I think Lamar Jackson has a lot of that in him. He very much understands his abilities. He very much understands that he's the most athletic guy on the field, but he also understands that he's probably not going to be able to take a monster kill shot from one of these defensemen, so he's going to be able to get down.
Yeah, I mean, you said it. There's really no way to defend him, and it's tough too because in practice, like no one you're putting out there on the practice squad, like that's not giving you an accurate look. Like the first time you actually see what he's all about is during the game. Like it's just how do you defend him?
Everybody says like, oh, that team was faster than we saw on film, or they say, you know what, you can't see on film how physical that team was. I assume it is very difficult to understand just how elusive, quick, and fast Lamar Jackson is strictly from film. Now, granted, New England Patriots, if they can't figure it out, that's tough for the rest of the NFL.
Exactly.
Let's assume if Bill gets another crack at this, he'll have a little bit better understanding. But going back to your point about the practice film, or practice and scout team, whenever I ran quarterback for the scout team, I was only there for my arm. Okay? Hey, Pat, we need Drew Brees this week. I got you. Let me lick my fingers. Let me go ahead and tilt the helmet up like this. Let me give a motivational speech to a team. Every single position gets called out except for the kickers and punters because for some reason I know that the kickers and punters don't need a motivational speech. They're going to show up and do their job.
Exactly.
If you want me to be Drew Brees, I'll be Drew Brees this week. And that week in practice, I threw for 10,000 yards. Drew Brees threw for 11,000 yards in a game. So whenever you get anointed that duty to do the player from the other team, that's incredible. Griff Whalen. I think this is whenever I was sold on Griff Whalen. He was supposed to be Julian Edelman of the Patriots. He had 17 touchdowns that week as Julian Edelman. And watching practice, we're like, hey, why don't we do this with Griff? Like, hey, this is crushing our defense. By the way, Julian Edelman went on to do that in the game. So whenever you get this duty to play and be somebody in practice, it's a huge role. It's a big deal because when they put that scout team jersey in there and it's like 11, you're 11, okay? You're 9 or whatever. Is that what Drew Brees is? 9?
I think so, yeah.
You're 9. Like, that's a big – who do you have in – you have to find a corner that can throw well. Who do you find? You find a guy that's a wide receiver, maybe your kick returner, punt returner. Because Lamar Jackson he has the quickness of a kick returner, punt returner. He has the toughness of a running back, and he has the ball in his hands every single play. So he doesn't have to rely on somebody who, like most teams, you have to rely on somebody to get the ball to the most explosive player on the field's hands.
Right.
Lamar Jackson's getting it every single play. If you just look at odds, let's assume that he's going to have more explosive plays than anybody else because he's getting it every single time. And once Greg Roman and he got on the same page, which it feels like they have, like, hey, listen, Lamar, we can't be throwing like 50 times, all right? Yeah, we would like, you probably would have liked as a child to grow up to be an NFL quarterback, and in your eyes, it was probably like a drop-back passer, Lamar. I understand that people probably wanted you to be a wide receiver, so you hate the label of just being an athlete. You want to be a quarterback. You could still throw the ball. You threw the ball well yesterday. You'll throw the ball well, but we have to take advantage of the fact that you are the most explosive dude on the field. We just have to do it. I'm sure Greg Roman had a conversation with him, and the fact that Lamar was like, all right, let's do it. And the fact that Lamar has this very cool attitude, by the way, I love him. In press conferences, I love him. On the sideline, I love him. Whenever Harbaugh and he had that conversation on the sideline, he was like, let's go. I can get it. This kid is everything. He's a good leader. He's explosive. He seems to be very high football IQ, doesn't make a lot of big-time mistakes. Threw a couple interceptions a couple weeks ago. That's going to happen, young quarterback. But, man, it seems like they have it all.